Mis cristales, so glad to have you here today to receive this message. My name is Kay. This is the Crystal CAY'S, and here in the Crystal CAY'S, I just work with your spirit guides to give you messages that are meant for you. This message in particular is meant for those who resonate as a philosophical being, someone who is in tune with their spirituality but is also highly intellectual, and we want to give you some messages, your spirit guides and I, about this, about you. So we are going to be addressing the fact that you have some connections or correlations with the aspects of Mercury and Virgo in the 9th house. So we'll get into what that means, but what I see for you guys is that, like I said before, you are a very intellectual person. You care about stimulating that knowledge growth, that acquisition of information that you can then make meaning of, not only through your spirituality but through your logical mind as well. The thing is, with Mercury, that has a lot to do with your communication. It means many other things. There's other subjects that Mercury relates to, that the gravitational pull of Mercury affects, the energy of Mercury affects. However, in this case, I want to address communication. When it comes to having Mercury in Virgo, that means that you guys are very detail-oriented and you're willing to be very clear and direct in your forms of communication. So what this means is you do have a way of gathering your thoughts and organizing the information in your mind, the thoughts that are passing through, the knowledge that is culminating not only in your conscious mind but your subconscious mind, in a way that you can say what you mean and mean what you say. And there's something very useful and beautiful about that. When it comes to the 9th house, that's where this idea of philosophy and spirituality and even long distance travel, those things come into play. It's as if you guys understand that the way you look at the world and the way you understand the world around you is only really going to come with how you balance your spiritual sense, those very ethereal, elusive aspects of life, to balance that with your more rational, logical thinking mind and those aspects of our existence as well. Now, what I can see here, pardon that, sometimes spirit has me pause and think about what I'm going to say, or rather to not overthink what I'm going to say and to let the message flow. So I see that you guys here, you had to consciously decide to gravitate away from something that you thought once upon a time was going to make you happy. What I recognize here is that you guys have chose to comb over some details that maybe your past self just wasn't in the headspace to do, wasn't willing to do. I think you guys have backed away from this tendency of ignoring the signs, the symbols, the patterns that you can spot. With this Virgo aspected, there are things that you pick up on that you can recognize. I know that there are several signs that are known to have this ability as well to spot patterns, but for Virgo, it has a very meticulous nature behind it, that you can really process these patterns in a unique way. And so I'll have to say that there was something that you guys thought would make you happy, but the reality of the situation is that it was creating a sense of miserable in your I heard day-to-day experience. So you've gotten to this place where you've not rejected what spirituality can do for your happiness. I think, like I said, this balance comes into play because if you were overly romanticizing or over sensationalizing the logic mind, then you were going about things a certain way because you felt like, 1 + 1 = 2. These actions should yield these results. But without you considering that spiritual aspect of things and really deepening your spiritual wisdom, it was creating a gross, malignant imbalance in your reality. And so you moved away from that. You understood that there's joy that you actually gain out of communicating with others. There's this fervor that you have for communicating clear, concise, authentic thoughts that are born out of your open-mindedness, something that you maybe didn't exactly have before. I can see that you've redefined what happiness means, it's more than happiness. It's like an inner peace, a deep joy within you that comes from allowing yourself to be stimulated in these ways you just rejected before. And I think the reason for this rejection stemmed from not recognizing the power in abandoning certain confines of the mind. Maybe you really wanted your future to look a certain way, so you were rejecting the reality of the situation as to how you'd actually get there. I think a lot of the times, especially once again with Virgo, not to say that you guys are necessarily Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or even Ascendant, but more so that there is this aspect of Virgo within you. So this energy does show up in some way, shape, or form. I think, it's something is telling me that you wanted a certain result you wanted your future to look a certain kind of way, or your happiness to be determined a certain kind of way, and it was out of turn. It was you trying to essentially get to a finish line before you had taken all the steps to get there. And that's okay. I mean, at times we do wish to be overzealous about some things, but I recognize here that your spirit guides want you to know that your benefits are on the plate for you based on how you reflect, based on how you complete things. But the how is to be revealed in the process. It's like you understand how to make these decisions based on the patterns that you recognize in your mind, consciously sifting out patterns in yourself and in others, but allowing that free-flowing spiritual aspect to come into play. There's a balance that occurs. There was a time where you really were trying to control things, trying to make things maneuver and go a certain way, and that wasn't exactly the best thing for you. I mean, it's as if it was you being honestly wrapped up in your ego in a prior sense, where you did not know how to release control over certain things, and maybe the patterns you were focused on in the past were leading you into certain belief systems that weren't actually serving you from the perspective of your higher self. And I really do understand that, and I want you to know that it's okay that you used to be that way, because you're making a transition. I understand. I think maybe I get the sense that you feel you need to explain yourself, over-explain yourself. And some of you, actually, I just channeled that it's a split Half of you feel you always needed to over-explain yourself about the way you think and your thought process and how you identify things and what's meaningful to you and how you make sense of the world and meaning of the world around you. But then it's split with another segment of you or half of you who felt self-righteous in the way you think, in the way you believe, in the way you calculate things and all that, to the point where you didn't feel the need or want to explain yourself. And in either sense, it's not really balanced. With the devil here and the King of Wands here, it lets me know that you were very zealous to hang on to a certain pattern or habit or belief system, or I keep thinking of a pattern resurfacing, and that you were clinging to that because for whatever reason it made sense for you in that time, or maybe I'm hearing connected to your South Node or connected to your past life. This made a lot of sense for your past life, and you're supposed to take these lessons from your past life into the current life to utilize them, but you're not supposed to stay locked in to a certain way. You have to allow things to meld. I heard meld, maybe like welding or merging. Interesting thought. But yeah, so it lets me know that this was something you went through as a teenager. If you are a teenager right now, then don't force anything that doesn't fit for your circumstance, but if it makes sense, just shift the timeline accordingly. I want to wrap it up shortly, but I want to ask, so with these aspects that are affecting you or that relate to you, what can we say about you moving forward? So yeah, we got the Star card, and the best thing about the Star card is that you understand deep within your soul that the world is your oyster, the galaxy is your oyster, the universe is created within you. So like I said, you're balancing out this logic mind with your spirituality. So the Star lets me know that you're digging into the deepest parts of your spirituality that you are capable of accessing at this time. Let me see if the spirits have any last tokens for you. And guys, of course, as always, too many, way too many. Let's see if we can get like 1 or 2. If you resonate with anything that I've said here, which I'm pretty sure if you're this far in the video, then you did resonate. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know in the comments below what exactly you resonated with in this video the most. We're gonna get one more. I know I said 1 or 2, but we're gonna get 3. It was called to get 1 more. Yes. Okay. So I sense that you guys are really facing a dichotomy right now. Perhaps you're split between 2 different directions. Understand that your spirit guides are working with you. The planets and the stars are also working with you. I just heard you are a star seed, so definitely check out some content. There's some great readers on YouTube, on TikTok, who can give you a little more information about star seeds. If you guys want a video on that, please do let me know. I can drop something for you. But these assistances, these energies, they're giving you these bursts of energy so that you can maneuver deeper into your spiritual journey. So please do take that. If you are split between a decision to not do it and to stay only married to your logical mind, you're going to knock yourself out of some opportunities that are destined for you. And I'm telling you, it's going to result in you harming or hindering, I should say, hindering your gift as a communicator. You are divinely guided in your communication. Please do not do yourself a disservice. We do not want you, your spirit guides and I, your starseed family and I, we do not want you going into a downward spiral, essentially, due to a stubbornness, a unwarranted resistance against this evolution that is occurring within you. You are so beautiful. You're extremely powerful, extremely knowledgeable, very intellectual, and you're philosophical beyond means. You have so much wisdom, and you're devoted to understanding the way that humans exist, and what serves us best, the ways we should think and the habits we should take on to live our best lives. And because you have these qualities and these characteristics, you're an extremely special person. So keep evolving into that highest version of yourself. I am doing what I can to be with you on your journey. I'm glad I could deliver you this message. I'm super grateful for your presence, for this energy transfer. Once again, I'm Kay, and I appreciate you guys so very, 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 very much. Please do enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video.